I guess you call that a flesh-colored dress. I don't know. I don't know. It's black dress and flesh color. It gives the illusion that she's not wearing anything underneath. And I heard the preacher when he defended her dress by saying, first of all, he bought the dress. And then he said, I want to address people who don't know anything, who haven't been anywhere, who don't know nothing. So I guess our objection to a man of the cloth presenting his wife in public looking like a $2 whore. Two. Two.
So things are heating up at the church after last week, Pastor Jamal Bryant and his wife were criticized for her dress that she was wearing that was to give the perception that it was revealing. Let's just say that. It was a see-through colored underneath situation, and yeah, it's just a mess, man. You know, like, is this what the church has come to these days? Not to mention Pastor Jamal Bryant, man, he's been the Target boycott, all that stuff was a complete failure, a huge failure. It just really proved how misguided the community is. But not only that, the community that's following him is super misguided. And I will posit that I think a lot of those people are part of the problem, really and truly. Because if you haven't gotten the message by now, you're ridiculous. Bishop Wooden, another pastor, has actually responded, and he responded from the pulpit.
A preacher presented his wife the other day, and I guess you call that a flesh-colored dress. I don't know. I don't know. It's black dress and flesh color. It gives the illusion that she's not wearing anything underneath.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard the preacher when he defended her dress by saying, first of all, he bought the dress. And then he said, I want to address people who don't know anything, who haven't been anywhere, who don't know nothing. So I guess our objection to a man of the cloth presenting his wife in public looking like a $2 whore.
Oh!
Two.
Oh! This dude is raw. He's saying what has to be said, though. You know, like, I don't know how Jamal Bryant gets up there and says what he says. I'm going to play for you later what Jamal Bryant said that actually elicited this response.
Two. At least two. Now, I didn't say she was. I'm not talking about her. My statement is not about her. My statement is about him. I said he presented his wife, and he said he bought the dress.
Right.
Those are his words, not mine. And there is nothing classy about that. There's
Not at
nothing
all.
modest about that. He said we haven't been anywhere. What I would like to know is where have you been? Where did he go? So I'll make sure that I never go there. Because
And don't send your wife there. Don't send your wife.
I don't want to go anywhere.
Wow.
And I come back with that kind of a notion. Now, I will say this, and this is a comment about my wife, not his wife. This is a comment about my wife. My wife wouldn't have done it, no matter what I said. She just would have said, honey, I'll wear this for you. I wear this for you at home when we know the grandkids aren't coming.
Right. Why not? If this is so much your dress and your selection, why not have that be your private situation? Why do you have to then display that to the world? It seems a little like, I don't know, like there's a lot of vaingloriousness going on here. There's a lot of showing off as if we haven't known in the church, but they want the attention of the first lady being an Instagram baddie or a real housewife of some kind. Like, you want to show your wife off. You want to show your wife's body parts to the world. Let's break it down in plain English. You would rather your wife become the object of ridicule and by your words, as the bishop has said here, you presented her to the world like this. You picked out the dress. So this is your fault. This isn't anybody talking about women. And I think that's what gets messed up in the comments. A lot of time you have women in there responding, oh, this is how a man should protect his wife. This is how a man, but no, you should not lead your wife into this path, this ditch. You should not lead your wife into this type of criticism. You are supposed to be a protector, no matter what the lust in your eyes says about your selection for your wife. You're supposed to feel, he wants to feel like he desires his wife, as if that's something that we all need to know, that he desires his wife. It sounds like overcompensation for something. That's what I'm saying. It sounds crazy.
Because there is such a thing as decency.
Right.
Decency. Y'all don't like me. But in public, at an event where everyone will see, I don't know of a greater way for a man to demean his wife.
To disgrace her.
And if he doesn't think that that is demeaning her,
that's right,
there's something wrong with him.
Right.
But then again, we're also talking about the guy who looked at Cam Newton's legs and told Cam he had pretty legs.
He said they're lanolated. Those legs are lanolated. Why are you looking at Cam Newton's legs? I know Corey Holcomb's already called you out on this, but why is the pastor on a podcast looking at another man's legs? And why is the man displaying his legs in such a fashion to even entice the pastor to comment on them? Ridiculous.
Yeah, see, so
let's get into how Jamal Bryant had responded to the criticism about his wife wearing said dress, a transparent dress, mind you.
The internet went crazy about a dress my wife had on. Now, they didn't say anything about the $4 million that was raised for the United Negro College Fund. They never mentioned that she prayed until heaven came down. But insecure, jealous, petty, small-minded people got in their feelings and set up a false barometer of holiness based off of a dress.
Now, see, that's very convenient on how you can move the goalposts on holiness when I don't remember anything about, all the time that I've been to church, I never remember anything about the pastor's wife must be the finest object in the room, or that her curves must be on display at all times. Yes, no, I don't remember that at all.
The dress was not see-through. The dress was flesh color. I need to set the record straight. I bought the dress.
So you buying dresses now. Even the way he said that was a little questionable.
And I like it.
Why are you liking dresses so
whether
much?
You like it or not. She ain't mad to y'all. She mad to me. If you wanted a first lady that looked like Little House on the Prairie and Holly Hobbie, you got the wrong church.
No, if you want a first lady that looked like the Real Housewives of Atlanta and the pastor has chosen the dresses, go to this church. Mind you, this is the same guy who took over Bishop Eddie Long's church, and we know all the issues that were happening in Bishop Eddie Long's church now. You know, this is part of an agenda, obviously. Didn't you see last week Cheyenne Bryant had the same type of dress on, but she had green underwear on hers? You know, she didn't have a flesh-colored underwear on hers to give you the illusion that was completely nude. But we're starting to see a trend here, right? And it's coming from the strangest places. Grown women, mind you. What, post-40s women dressing in such a manner. You're wondering where the kids are getting this type of energy from, this type of mentality from.
Straight, I bought the dress. And I like it. I don't care whether you like it or not. She ain't mad to y'all. She mad to me.
She mad
if
to
you
me.
wanted a first lady that looked like Little House on the Prairie and Holly Hobbie, you got the wrong church. I wanted a wife I would rush home to, that I wanted to be excited to see. When you walked in there, I said, shake it fast, watch yourself. The other day,
mystical from the pulpit. She ain't mad to you. She mad to me. That just sounded crazy, sounded evil. It sounded twisted. It sounded like the preacher from Vampire in Brooklyn that was about to turn into smoke.
Ass is good. Evil's good and ass is good. And if you get you a piece of evil ass, whoo!
Or Eddie Murphy playing the preacher that was really the actual vampire. Yeah, that's who's up there right now. And you see the women in that church that were cheering this on. That lets you know everything about what is going on in today's church and why a lot of you men are not attending. And that's unfortunate. It really is, because we can see through this type of manipulation. In order for this pastor to, I don't know if this is the new trend that's coming off of the runways in Paris and, oh, we've got to be on top of it. But why? Why again? Why? Now you put this woman, your wife, in the crosshairs of the media. For what? For what reason? Like I said, he's done several ill-advised things, Pastor Jamal Bryant, in the past few years. Of course, the Target boycott that everybody and their mama was sneaking to go to Target in the background. You remember that? But it was such a big deal that DEI was getting canceled, which was totally misguided. When you look at DEI and you see that the biggest recipients of it were actually not Black people, then you realize how much of a manipulation and how much of a tool Pastor Jamal Bryant has been. And that is unfortunate, because you see a man of God and you're supposed to be able to look up to him and be able to follow his steps. What is the purpose of getting married if you still got to deal with Instagram? You still got to deal with the world gawking at your woman, or wanting the world to gawk at your woman. You know, that doesn't seem like it's in the right place. And I hope that Jamal Bryant can see this. And maybe if he can't see this, maybe the bishop's $2 hoe comment might wake him up. Hey, I wouldn't be surprised about anything at this point. Ridiculous. Anyway, let me know what you think about it in the comments. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification for all uploads. This is Faucette Media.